Hey traders, Day Trader Matt here of BusinessWithTrading.com, doing a trading strategy recap for the 27th of March, Friday. And today was an interesting day. Today was a very choppy day and a very ugly day. And days like this are going to come around. They're going to be part of the overall trading landscape. Not every day is going to be just an exceptional moving day where you can easily pick entries and what you're looking for. So today pretty much opened right here. Opened on the downside, moved up, chopped around a little bit. Came down, chopped around a little bit, came up, chopped around a little bit, and just kept chopping until after 12 o'clock. Today we took one trade. It was a very quick win for 1.25 points, and that's all we did. It is what it is. We ended up. What did we end up doing? We ended up getting long. We were long here. We were able to ride that up, take profit. Price came back down, and then it came back up. It was just one of those, hideous days. Making 1.25 is always good. It's better than nothing, and it's much better than being negative. I was working with a member today about setting up a trading plan. He's a member of the coaching group, or not group, but solo coaching, pretty much. So I'm taking him through a series of steps. And right now we're working on setting the foundational principles. But I'm working with, giving him the overall view, and then we're going to take each principle on its own and then go through it. But I was going over a way of, saving things and going over certain steps over and over and over again. And then once you do that, you build up on it, but overall having a plan. If you don't have a plan, you don't know where you're going, you don't know when you get to your destination or how you get to it, how much time it takes, or if you never get to it, doesn't take. And I liken it to being a hiker in the woods. You have a destination. You're hiking to a certain point, or you're going to hike over a certain number of days, so you're going to hit certain points along your way where you can stop and sleep, because it's going to be, if it's a multi-day hike, most people aren't just going to go straight for 72 hours, unless it's maybe some kind of an Ironman contest or something like that. But I don't think they hike through the woods like that. But it's the same type of thing for trading. You want to have a plan, so that way nothing catches you too off guard. You can see the market and say, oh, it looks like crap, I'm not going to trade it right now. That's what I did. We made one trade, that's it. It is what it is. Whereas the hiker on the trail is going to go a certain distance, in the planning stage, approximately a certain distance before they can stop and set up shop for the night, set up tent, whatever you call it. And that way they know, well, I've made this much, now I have this much to go before my next stop, and then this much to go before my next stop. And trading's the exact same thing. Every day is going to be part of that journey. After that day, you can do your analysis for the next day, and that's, the tent that the hiker has set up, you're doing your analysis, it's the same thing. And then, the hiker's journey begins again, your trading day begins again. And it just keeps going and going and going. Now, in this analogy, it would be a never-ending hike. And we know that you don't hike your entire life. You go on a certain one, a few days here, a few days there. Trading, you have the weekend to basically recover and do anything else. Or if you only trade a set number of hours, after that's over with, you can go do whatever you want. And that's what I think trading is supposed to be. You know, I don't sit in front of my computer 24 hours a day. I don't trade at 1 o'clock in the morning because I'm sleeping. You know, I don't trade. You know, I day trade from 9:30 to 12. Sometimes I do it in the afternoon, but it's about 1% of the entire year. 260, 252 trading days, whatever it is. 1% of that, I'm trading in the afternoon. It's not a lot of time. So the majority of the time, I'm day trading 9:30 to 12. And then my swing trades, I'm placing orders in the evening. But the majority of time, I'm placing them, 5, 10, 15 hours in advance. We've had some orders in the market, 3, 4, 5 days before they get filled. So I'm not looking to day trade all day long. 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm day trading. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I can't sleep. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and start day trading. That's insane. That's a good way to have a heart attack, get burnt out. Anything, blow up your account. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to blow up your account. Because your mind's just overly stimulated. You can't handle that much information. It's going to be detrimental to your trading. It goes back to, a lot of people think that if you're in the market, you're being productive. If you're not in the market, you're not being productive, which is total bullshit. But that's what a lot of people think. And they think it on an unconscious level. It's not conscious, so you don't even know what you're thinking it. But it is what it is. And that's why I have coaching programs. And I think they're really, really good. Because each person, I'm going to coach a little bit differently because everyone's different. Everyone takes this different, path to the market. And I don't want to spend this whole time talking about the programs that I have and stuff like that. That's just where this rant's kind of gravitating towards. But anyway, I wanted to talk about today. We only took one trade. It was an ugly day. And yeah, I've had people, come into the room and say, well, you don't trade as much as I would like for you to, or I would like to get more trades. I want to do this. I want to do that. Well, I trade how I trade. I don't really care how other people trade. If you're a client of mine or a member of one of the courses, yeah, I do care, because that means you've come to me for help, and I'm helping you. That's a place where I do care. If people emailing me and say, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, yeah, I could give a shit. I trade how I trade. I've done it for a long time, and I'm successful. And a lot of times I get those emails, and I know that they're not successful. But they think they're helping by offering suggestions. Which means they're a good person. It just means that they're unclear of how to trade successfully. Which isn't a bad thing. It just means they're just unclear of it. They just don't know. And I think most people out there are good people. They just, need direction. And like anything, trading definitely does require a different mindset. It requires certain preparation in order to be able to lift off in the trading journey and be set up for success. And that's what I try to do here with the Business with Trading. The whole reason the name came about is because so many people I was working with, they would jump into the trading market because it takes like $3,000, something like that, to start an account with a broker. Some are even lower than that. So the barrier of entry is like nothing. You can jump in and start trading. You don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you jump in and you start trading. It's fun. It's like, yeah, I get an adrenaline rush. It's great. It's like riding a roller coaster, but I get to lose money at the same time, which sucks, but, it is what it is. Something like that. Which is, like, probably sort of what I did when I started trading. I sucked when I started trading, and man, looking back, I'm like, wow, it's amazing. It's amazing I was that bad. But eventually you start putting pieces together and you start learning. It took me a long time. With the proper training, you could be up and running in, a matter of months, depending on how much time and effort you actually put into it. I've had some traders take a little bit longer. Some traders do it in a few months. It really does depend on the individual. Are you, working a full-time job? Are you on the sabbatical? Everyone's going to be different. Everyone's learning pace is going to be different. Everyone's perspective on learning is going to be different. So, giving out a time frame, catch-all, everyone's going to do it, doesn't make sense because it's impossible to say because everybody's different. So anyway, hopefully that made sense to you. Something resonated with you. I wanted to show a trade that we closed today. It was the trade we showed yesterday on Coco. We had our stop up here. Today it ran lower. We moved our stop down to 27.50 here. So we would have made, or we made $500 on this leg, $200 on this leg, which gives us a resounding, if I could draw this out, $700. If you're trading 10 contracts, you're going to make a lot more. 20 contracts, you're going to make a lot more. Let's say you traded 20 contracts, 10 on each side. So 10 here gives you $2,000, and 10 here gives you $5,000, which makes $7,000. It's not too bad. That's still pretty small. You could have definitely have, traded that in Coco, done pretty well. And we got in here on Wednesday, and 2 days later, we're taken out. Not a bad trade at all. But that's because we were patient with this. I don't remember what I said yesterday, but the order was, put in 5 hours before we got taken or something like that. It was definitely 5 hours or more. And, like I said, that's what we do. We place orders usually in the evening, and usually they take about 5 or 15 hours to get hit. Sometimes 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. But that's our preparation phase. And that's what I do go over in the trading courses. I have 19 plus weeks of material. We go through 19 weeks. I have homework, I have exercises, all to just show you what I do. How can I place an order, 3 days in advance, take a trade, and a lot of times be successful? It's because I'm able to do that. I'm able to, have patience and apply an analysis that allows me to be ahead. And it allows me to say, I love this, I want to get short here. Like right here, let me see if I can get rid of this. Alright, let's go here. And let's go down to, say, a 15 minute. Okay. So as the market's moving down here, this evening right here, this opened at 5:45 Wednesday morning or Thursday morning. Yeah, it opened at 5:45 Thursday morning, which was yesterday. So I was a day off when I was looking at the longer term chart. But right here, Wednesday afternoon, probably around 5-ish, 4 or 5, something like that, I said, let's get short 2,800. Did I know that it was going to be such a good entry? No, I didn't. I thought the market would come up a little bit more. But I decided, let's get short, and we're gonna see what we can do. That next morning I said, let's take partial here, and we'll move our stop down, which was up here, and then we'll write it if it does go in our favor, and it went in our favor, and we were actually able to make quite a bit of money on it. That's how it works. That's it in a nutshell. We like to be methodical, but also have a lot of patience. We have a lot of patience. That's what trading takes. Trading isn't, let's jump in the market, we're going to make $1 million out of 10,000 tomorrow. That's awesome. I learned this trading skill, and I can turn $1 into 10 million in less than a day. That's impossible. Nobody can do that. But can you turn $10,000 into 20,000, 30,000 within a month or so? It's happened. Can you turn 100,000 into $1 million inside of a few years? Maybe 4 or 5. That's kind of conservative. If you're trading a certain style. With our swing trades, the beginning of March, we probably got stopped out of 6 or 8 trades. They were very small stops, and then we had one big trade that made up for all of our stops plus some. And that's just how trading works. The other day we got hit for 8 points on our E-mini trading room. Yesterday we made 10. Today we made 1.25. So trading isn't something that's perfect, and that's why I show these videos all the time. Because trading isn't perfect. It's never going to be perfect. It's always going to be a little different, and you're never going to make money every single day. But to be as consistent as possible is really our goal. Be as consistent as possible, and if you're not sure what the market's doing, just don't even trade. Do what we did today. We made, one trade, 1.25 points. We ended up closing around here. Closed the room around here. 11:40, 11:35, something like that. It's because we didn't see anything. I thought about closing it a little bit earlier, but I wanted to wait a little bit just in case something happened. And that's just because we only made one trade for 1.25. I was looking for another one. And that goes into another thing that is important. I'm not going to talk about all of it because I could speak on this subject for a very, very long time. Is creating setups in your head rather than actually seeing the setups in real life. I just said I kept the room open a little bit longer than I wanted to close it over here, but I kept it open just in case another trade showed up. I've seen a lot of new traders create trades out of their heads. They're just like, man, I want another trade, I want another trade. Oh, look, there's a setup. Because you're saying, I want another trade, your brain's like, alright, well, here's a trade. And you're like, okay, cool, I'll take it. If you talk to your brain like that, I don't know. Maybe use different dialogue. But that's what we look for. You take the trade, obviously it's not even a setup. I don't know why you took the trade. Like, let's say price came down here. You're like, man, I want to trade, I want to trade, I want to trade. Well, price comes down. Okay, I'm going to get long. Boom, 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 chop, chop. Stop. Well, why'd I get stopped? Well, it wasn't even a setup. This is usually how it goes, right? Maybe it's happened to you, maybe it hasn't. I've done it. I would think that most of us are guilty of this. It happens. It's part of trading. Trading a lot of times is monotonous. Like today was just a hideous day. It really was. It was a day that you just didn't really want to, you're like, man, what a crappy day. I should, be at the beach or something. But, at the same hand, it is what it is. So hopefully you got something out of what I talked about today. I know today's a rather long video. So, anything that resonated with you, feel free to share below. Have you ever created a trade out of thin air? If so, feel free to share. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or, you can also email me as well if you don't want to, post something for everyone to see. support@abusinesswithtrading.com. Love to hear your thoughts. With that, have an awesome rest of your day. Have an awesome weekend. And I'll see you back here next week in the markets. Thank you.